Hello and welcome to the last live or YouTube yoga class for 2020, and happy first day of winter, happy winter solstice. So find yourself, first make sure that you've got a blanket or a cushion or just whatever might make you feel comfortable. And I am sitting on the front edge of a folded blanket to give myself a little height. So find a comfortable position to start. It can be upright, it can be lying down, whatever feels good for you. And so we'll just begin by closing our eyes or taking a gentle downward gaze and just starting to center ourselves, starting to notice how we're feeling today, tuning in. Noticing where your body is contacting the mat, feeling that contact, and really grounding into it, feeling the support. Letting your shoulders soften, coming down away from the ears, and bringing your awareness into your facial muscles and allowing them to soften. The forehead grows smooth. And begin to deepen the inhale and then deepen the exhale, slowly lengthening it. And if it's easier to focus just on either the inhale or the exhale rather than both, try to focus on the exhale, lengthening the exhale. The inhale will just naturally happen, and lengthening the exhale will help relax the system even more. Perhaps noticing how you feel as you breathe these longer breaths. And then letting your breath return to normal. And once again, checking in with the facial muscles. Can you release any tension from them? Perhaps this time opening the mouth and moving the jaw a little bit up and down and side to side. Creating a little movement and space in the jaw. And then bringing that movement to a close and letting the teeth stay apart while the lips close. And allow this awareness to travel from your face and head down your neck into the shoulders, just allowing things to release a little bit. If that means doing a little mini shake just to get a sense of the muscles and then some stillness, try that. So allow this feeling of relaxation, of openness to move down through the shoulders, down the arms, into the hands. And then coming back up into the shoulders, flowing down the spine through the torso, into the hips, and down the legs, and into the toes and feet. Now, perhaps getting a sense of the clothes as they touch your skin, or the air as it moves over your skin. Perhaps sensing any sounds around you. Or any aromas, or maybe the play of light that might be on your eyelids as they're closed. You can still see a little something. Just checking in with the senses. And taking your awareness into your mind and just noticing whatever thoughts, feelings, or emotions might be there. And just acknowledging them and letting them be. And then I invite you to just have a sense of the present moment. Just see if just for now you can allow the moment, each moment, to be just as it is. And to allow yourself to be just as you are. So as a group, whether you're watching this live or watching this later, let's take 3 breaths together. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and out. And once more. And then allow your eyes to open or raise your eyes up. Take in the room. And let's bring the hands down to the floor beside you. And inhale the arms up overhead, palms facing each other, or as far up as they'd like to come. And then exhale, bring the hands back down, flipping the palms back down towards the floor. Let the hands rest on the thighs and inhale as you press your chest forward, letting your chin tip up. And then as you exhale, round your spine back, tucking the chin down towards the chest. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead once more, flipping the palms up. And as you exhale, gently float the hands back down, palms down, and let the hands rest on the thighs. Inhale, chest comes forward, chin lifts. Exhale, spine rounds behind you, chin comes down. Inhale, gently straighten up to center, and then exhale. And once more, inhale, lift the arms up, overhead, and then exhale, arms come down, palms rest on the thighs. Inhale, press the chest forward, lift the chin. Exhale, round the spine behind you. Then inhale, return to center. Exhale, release. Now, I invite you to bring your hands down beside you, perhaps fingertips touching the floor. And inhale, raise the right arm up. And exhale, lean to the side, to the left. Inhale, lift the arm up. Exhale, press the arm down. Inhale, lift the left arm up. And exhale, lean to the right. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, place that arm down. Inhale, lift the right arm. Exhale, lean towards the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, bring the arm down. And once more, inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, lean towards the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, bring the arm down. Now, bring the right hand to the left knee. Inhale and exhale, perhaps walking the left arm or left hand a little bit more behind you, coming into a twist. Take a breath here. And then inhale and exhale, unwind, return to center. Then take your left hand to the right knee and take the right fingers, perhaps walking them a little bit behind you, and twist. Take one breath here. And then unwind and come back to center. If you're sitting on anything, you may want to move it out from underneath you. And then extend your legs out in front of you and bring the arms out in front. And let's do some wrist and ankle circles. So you can have a bend in the knee if you like, going both directions. And if you'd like a little bit more challenging or a little bit more warmth, then I invite you to lean back a little bit on your hips so that maybe your legs and feet come up off the floor. You can bend your knees and then start to bring the whole arm and leg into it. You can always come back if you need to take a break and then maybe lean back again. So just start to reach, wiggle, stretch, move however feels good, waggling it out. And then bringing things back down. And go ahead and bend your knees and we'll come to table position. You might like to have something under your knees. And so come to table position, hands beneath the shoulders or wrists beneath the shoulders and knees beneath the hips. Press the floor away from you a little bit and feel your shoulder blades grow slightly apart. And then inhale, let your belly drop down, chin lifts. Exhale, round the spine towards the ceiling, tuck the chin and the tailbone. Inhale, belly drops down, chin lifts. Exhale, spine rounds towards the ceiling like a Halloween cat, chin and tailbone tuck under. Once more, inhale, belly drops down. Exhale, spine rounds towards the ceiling. Then come back to a neutral spine. And again, bring your attention back to the hands as they press into the mat. And once again, press the hands into the mat as if you were pressing the floor away from you. Feeling, again, the shoulder blades moving farther apart on the back. And then imagine your sternum, the the breastbone, imagine that rises up a little bit towards the ceiling, taking the ribs with it. Just a little bit. As you press the floor away, turn your head gently from side to side. And then return to center. Now, come to sit back on your heels for just a moment and do a little wrist shakeout, little arm shakeout. And I'm going to scoot my stuff forward a little bit here. And come back to table pose. Press those hands into the floor and feel the floor moving away. Now, I invite you to step one leg back, perhaps the right leg, curling the toes under, extending the leg back, feeling the sort of balance here. Then bring that knee back in, and then extend the left leg back, toes curled under, and then back to center. Extend the right leg back again, toes curled under. And then this time, see if you can press the floor away. And can you also extend the left leg, coming into a plank? If you can, hang out here. Press the floor away, not sinking down into the shoulders. Now, I want to give you a couple of variations here. You can keep the knees on the floor if you like. You can also be standing. And if you're standing, you can stand with the arms in front of you, maybe stepping back just a little bit, pressing the wall away from you if you're standing. Okay, so from here, wherever you're at, press the floor away from you, and then can you start to move the hips up and back, coming into a downward dog? It might be a little bit different of a downward dog than you're used to, and that's okay. Just bring your head down towards the floor a bit. The heels can be away from the floor. There can definitely be a bend in the knees. Now, can you flow back to a plank? Bring your knees down whenever you need to. Take a break. This is all in the spirit of exploration. Listen to your own body. So flow back and forth from plank to downward dog. If you're on your knees, you can continue pressing the floor away as you sit the seat back as far as it feels like you're keeping an engagement, pressing the floor away, and then flowing back and forth like that. If you were on pressing the wall away, keep the hands where they are, press the floor away, and move the hips back. You may need to come a little bit further away, and then you can come forward, moving the hips back and forth. Try one or two more back and forths. And then bring your knees down or step away from the wall. Sit back on your heels. Give a shake. So come forward once more. Come back to the table position. And step one foot back. Step the other foot back. Coming into the plank, or keeping your knees down on the floor, or pressing the wall away, standing. Now, to add a little bit of challenge here, can you maintain this and lift the right toes off the floor just a little bit, and then bring them back down? And then can you lift the left toes off the floor, and then bring them back down? Then press the hips up and back, coming into downward dog. And then I invite you to walk the hands back to the feet, or the feet to the hands. Scooting, if you had a cushion or a blanket on the floor, scoot that out of the way, and you'll be here in a ragdoll position. So you'll keep a bend in the knees, hold on to the opposite elbows, and actually, if you want, because we didn't shake it out, if you want to just do a little shake out of the arms while you're hanging this way, do that. Then you can grab a hold of the opposite elbows and hang here like a rag doll. Perhaps adding a little side-to-side movement. And then releasing, perhaps bending and straightening again here, pressing a hip out towards the side. And then come to stillness. Take a breath, bend the knees deeply and let the torso rest on the thighs. Let the head dangle if that feels comfortable and safe. And then pressing your feet into the floor, bring your hands to your legs and let them glide up as you slowly press the floor away with your feet, coming to a standing position. And when you come to standing, give a little shake of the feet, of the legs, of the arms. Just shaking out whatever you need to. Once again, I think this is just a great thing to do. Maybe in private. Just shaking out all the stress. Oh, and then bring yourself back to center. Come to a nice standing position with feet about hip or pelvis width apart. And close your eyes and just begin to notice. Notice the breath. Notice how your muscles feel. Is there anything tense now that maybe you could send a little relaxation to? What else can you feel or sense? How's your mind? All right, open your eyes. Inhale, open the arms out wide. And then exhale, bring your left arm across and hold. And then just turn your head from side to side, gently. Next, inhale, open the arms out wide again. And then exhale, bring the right arm across and hold. Open the arms out wide, and then let the arms go. Give them a little shake, maybe roll the shoulders out. And then come back to center. Now I'm going to turn to the side just so you can see me better. You can feel free to stand however you like. Keeping that hip width, pelvis width position. Bring your attention down into your feet, and you might gently sway back and forth a few times, just noticing the way the weight travels. When you come forward, you'll feel your toes strengthen a little bit to catch you. You'll bring the weight back on the heels a little bit as you lean back. And then come to center, seeing if you can maybe rest the weight in the center of the foot. Now, taking your gaze down just to check things out, can you start to move your hips back, sticking your butt out behind you, and begin to bend your knees, trying to keep the knees stacked over the ankles as much as you can. You may bring your arms out in front of you. That might just naturally happen to create a little bit more balance. If you start to feel, as we're in this chair position, if you start to feel a little tension in your low back, can you imagine your tailbone and just tuck it under just a little bit, just a little minuscule movement? Let your head be long. Check in with it. Make sure that there's not a big bend. Now, with your arms out in front of you, turn the palms down towards the floor and then bring the fingertips back towards you. So now you're doing that kind of stop position. And bring the arms down now by your sides and maybe even back behind you. Now, keeping these your hands the way they are, pressing away from you, inhale and bring the arms up and over, straightening up. And then as you slowly exhale, start to sink back down into the chair, bringing the arms behind you. I feel like we're like a ski jump kind of position here. And then inhale, slowly rise up, straightening the legs, keeping the shoulders down away from the ears as you bring the palms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale slowly, returning back to the chair, bringing the arms all the way extended behind you. Do a few of these, moving with your breath, moving consciously. Can you sync the movement of your arms and the bending of your knees with your breath? And if you can't, that's okay. On your next inhale, when you rise up, just as you exhale, let the arms come down by your sides. Keep your knees straight and just do a bit of a shake. And then return to center. Close your eyes for a moment and observe. Notice muscles, breath, feelings. Just observe. Now, open your eyes and coming back to the hip width, pelvis width stance, start to bring your weight into your left foot and leg, starting to maybe peel the heel up of the right foot, and then return back to center, letting that heel come down, and then lean towards the right, peeling the heel off the floor on the left side this time. Come back to center and move gently from side to side, just experiencing, maybe even lifting the toes off the floor, just to get a little experience of moving side to side, a little bit of balance. And the next time you bring your weight into the left leg, peel the right heel off the floor, and then can you externally rotate the leg, taking your knee out to the side and just sliding the foot in. So the toes are going to be on the floor, maybe even the ball of the foot, and the heel is going to contact the inside of the left leg. So we've come into a variation of tree. Now, once you feel steady in your trunk, then allow your branches to come out. And I invite you to make whatever kind of tree you might like, even if it's a tree that has never been seen in nature. Keep pressing the floor away with the foot. Let's see, it's your left foot. Keep breathing. You can also press the toes of your right foot into the floor. Can you perhaps grow a little bit more from the crown of your head? Inhale, and then as you exhale, gently float your arms down, float your foot back, come back to center. If you need to shake out the left leg briefly, feel free. And then return to center and just notice. Now, feet hip width apart. Start to bring your weight into your right leg, peeling the left heel off the floor. And then can you slide that foot over so that the heel of your left foot contacts the lower part of the inside of your shin. You'll turn the knee out to the side. You don't have to force anything, just allow it to move as far as your knee moves. And then pressing the floor away from you, then allow the branches to emerge, perhaps a different shape this time. And the shapes can change. Maybe it's a breezy, windy day. Maybe it's a really new tree that has shorter branches that maybe they haven't really grown out that far. Maybe your hands stay on your hips. If you want a little bit more challenge here, maybe close your eyes. But we're just choosing our own adventure all through these things. I just offered suggestions. Take one more breath here. Inhale, rising up through the crown of the head, sprouting up a little bit more. And then as you exhale, slowly let your arms come down. The foot comes back down. Give a little shake. And return to center. And just take a pause here and notice breath, body, your senses. Now, open your eyes, and we're going to return to the chair position. So, pressing the feet into the floor, begin to press your seat back, sticking your butt out behind you, bringing those arms out in front as you bend your knees. This doesn't have to be a deep movement at all. But see if you can keep pressing the butt back and maybe bringing the knees, keeping the knees more over your heels. Now, I invite you to bring your hands to your ribs. You can play with the placement. It might be good to have the fingers pointed down with the heel of the hand closer towards the armpits. So hands on the lower ribs. And then keeping the knees bent, the butt back. Inhale and exhale. Turn your upper body towards one side. Can you keep the shoulders away from your ears? So they may have inched up. You may like to change the positioning of the hands. That might make it a little bit easier for the shoulders. So turning to one side and holding here. Expanding the breath into the hands. And then inhale and exhale, return to center. And then on your next inhale, and then exhale, turn towards the other side. Your lower body is not moving. This is just a twist with the rib cage, the torso, the shoulders. Again, checking in with the shoulders, check in with the neck if you need to move around, change your neck position, but you can also keep your gaze going off towards the side. And continue trying to breathe into the hands, expanding them away on the inhale and letting them come back in on the exhale. Now, inhale and exhale, unwind, and then straighten your legs, release the arms, give a little bit of a shake out. And close your eyes and just take a pause. These pauses are important to allow us some self-assessment, but they can also allow the nervous system to kind of catch up, recalibrate. All right, I have one final chair-based piece of excitement. So bring your arms a little bit forward, begin to sink back into the chair. Actually, surprise, we're going to rise back up and come back to standing. We're going to set up some arms first. We're going to set up a form of eagle arms. So take your right arm and you're actually going to hold on to the left shoulder. And then you'll take your left arm and bring it underneath, and arm comes by the shoulder blade. So you'll try to stack the elbows as you can, as possible. And wherever you're at, see if you can sort of squeeze the arms together. So that squeeze elbow to elbow. And once you've got that set, then begin to sink back, sink the butt back, bending the knees. And we've got the right arm on top. So we'll bring our weight into our, I'm sorry, I think we've got the left arm, I don't know. Whatever arm is on top, sink your weight towards that side. And so then the leg that is starting to peel off the floor, begin to bring that foot up and cross leg over leg. You can also cross ankle over just above the knee. Also, if it feels better to just bring the foot a little bit closer, so you're just exploring the balance without actually coming up. Check in with your breath. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe take the gaze down just a little bit so the neck can be long. And then next inhale, gently unwind the leg and unwind the arms. Give a little bit of a shake out. Seeing if you can remember which arm was on top. Because now we're going to take the arm that was on top, now take the other arm, hold on to the opposite shoulder, then bring the other arm underneath. Perhaps trying to squeeze the elbows together, creating a little bit of tension there, and widening in the shoulder blades behind you. Then begin to bend your knees, sticking the butt behind you. Bring your weight into the side of the arm that's on top. And then begin to peel that other foot up, maybe just bringing the foot closer. But if you feel comfortable, raise that foot, perhaps sliding the ankle on top, or even sliding knee or stacked on knee. Breathe and feel. Unwinding if you need to, maybe coming back. And then inhale, unwind the legs, unwind the arms. Give a little shake out of everything. Perhaps rolling the shoulders. Maybe even inhaling the arms up overhead if that feels comfortable. Reaching up above as if you were pulling something down from the ceiling. And then letting the arms come down. Do a little shake out. If you need to turn to face the short end of your mat, like I do so now. And then bring your hands to your hips. Start to press your hips back, hinging at the hips, coming down into a 90-degree forward bend here. Seeing if you can bring your torso to parallel to the mat to begin with. Pressing your hips back away from you and the crown of the head to the wall in front of you or whatever is in front of you. And then bending your knees. Allow your hands to glide down. Coming down onto the floor. Bring your hands onto the floor, coming down to knees on the ground, coming into a table position. And step one leg back, step the other leg back, coming back into plank. Pressing the floor away from you, feeling the shoulder blades move away. And can you perhaps lift the sternum slightly towards the ceiling, lower ribs towards the ceiling as well? One more time, I invite to lift the hips up and back, coming back towards downward dog. Then flowing forward. Can you take a few breaths as you move back to downward dog, making this a little bit slower of a movement? And a few breaths as you flow back to plank. And when you come down to plank, I invite you to bring the knees down and come down to forearms. Bring your forearms down to the floor. I'm going to actually bring my knees back underneath my hips for a moment. So elbows are beneath the shoulders. Then step one leg back, step the other leg back. Elbows and forearms press into the mat. Shoulder blades draw away. And one final bit of challenge here. I invite you to take your right hip and slowly move it down towards the floor, a few inches, a few centimeters, and then coming back up. And then twisting, turning the left hip, moving it down towards the floor a little bit. Trying not to move the upper body at all, pressing away with the upper body. Just move a little bit from side to side. You can also come down to your knees and slowly bring the hips from side to side. If you've had enough, feel free to come down onto your belly. We'll do a few more, maybe raising back into straight legs once more. Whatever you're doing, you are doing great. All right, knees slowly to the floor, then bring everything down to the floor. Gently coming down, bringing your arms out in front of you, reaching forward, reaching the fingertips to whatever's in front of you, and reaching your toes to whatever's behind you. Maybe reaching a little bit from side to side. And then bringing the arms in, making a little pillow with your hands, stacking the palms, resting your chin or the side of your face. Now, I invite you to move your arms back by your sides with the palms facing down. Chin rests on the mat. And then lift head, shoulders, and chest, and your arms. And perhaps your arms reach a little bit closer. Perhaps your fingertips try to reach towards each other. Maybe they can interlace. If not, that's okay. You can continue reaching back. And then, can you turn to one side, lifting your shoulder up off the floor, and then come back to center? And then twist slightly, lifting the other shoulder up, taking the gaze back behind you. Coming back to center. And the other side. And back. And then that second side. And then return to center. Bring your hands back into the hand pillow. Rest your chin or the side of your face. And take a few breaths. Bend your knees and windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Just gently. And then allow your feet to come back down to the floor. Bring your palms beneath your shoulders, fingertips facing forward, elbows are by your sides, chin rests on the mat. Inhale, extend right arm and left leg. Right arm reaches forward, left toes reach behind you. The height is not so important. Exhale, return back to center, arm or hand back under the shoulder. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale down. Perhaps taking your gaze towards the mat so you can keep a long neck. Inhale, right arm, left leg, and down. Inhale, left arm, right leg, and down. Go for a few of these repetitions, moving with the breath. Exploring the reach, the extension. And when you've completed both sides one last time, return to center. Arms are bent underneath you, palms are under your shoulders, fingertips facing forward. And then on your next inhale, let your pubic bone press towards the floor as you extend both arms and both legs. And then exhale down, lifting a little bit on the legs, but mostly imagining on the inhale as you reaching away from you, and then exhale, come down. Inhale, extend. Exhale, down. Once more, inhale, extend, and hold, reach, and then exhale, come down, make the hand pillow once again. Bend your knees and windshield wiper the legs from side to side. Allow your legs to come back down to the floor. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders and press yourself up first into a table position, and then sending your seat back towards your heels, coming down into a child's position if that feels comfortable for you. You can bring the forehead towards the floor, or you could maybe make a hand pillow again, or stack your fists. If at any time this does not feel comfortable, you can feel free to come back down to your belly, spend a few more moments on the belly, or you can simply sit up into a kneeling position, or whatever position might feel good. Wherever you're at, take one more breath. And as you exhale, begin to move back towards a kneeling position, coming more upright. And then letting your hips come to one side and coming into a comfortable seat for a moment. Let's just do a few shoulder circles here. Going one way and going the other. Maybe even bring the arms out to the side and turn the palms and the elbow pits and the biceps towards the ceiling. And then slowly turn the palms down, the elbow pit down as if you were spilling something down out of it. And then rotate like this a few times. This can be at different angles, doesn't have to be shoulder height. In fact, it doesn't even have to be at all. All right, let that go. Give a nice shake out of the arms. And let's come down to our backs onto the floor. Once you come down, let your legs straighten out and reach the arms up overhead, reaching the fingertips behind you and pressing the soles of the feet away from you, wriggling a little bit, finding length here. And then bringing your arms down, bending the knees, bringing the soles of the feet onto the floor. Lift your right foot off the floor and make a few circles to the side, going one way and going the other way with your knee and hip. Then allow that right foot, allow the ankle to cross over the left thigh just above the knee. And then lift your left foot up off the floor. This might feel good to stay right where it is, or perhaps you reach behind the left leg. Inhale and exhale. Gently draw your left knee a little bit closer towards the torso. Perhaps rocking the head gently from side to side, releasing tension in the head and neck. Inhale and exhale. Place the feet back down on the floor. And then lift your left foot and make a few circles off to the side, moving the hip, moving the knee, going in the other direction as well. And then allowing the left ankle to cross over the right thigh just above the knee. Slowly raise the right foot up off the floor, perhaps staying right here, perhaps finding a place for your hands behind the left leg, or excuse me, the right leg. Inhale and exhale, gently drawing the right knee a little closer towards the chest. Inhale and exhale. Gently place the right foot, then the left foot back down onto the floor. Raise both feet up off the floor, bringing the knees closer in towards the chest, and raise your upper body off the floor, bringing your forehead in towards the knees, and either holding with the hands on the shins or maybe wrapping the arms around. Rock a little bit from side to side in this tight ball. Allow your ball to roll to one side, pick a side, and then extend both arms out in front of you with the palms touching. On your next inhale, allow the top hand to glide over the bottom arm, across your chest, and let that arm open out to the side, coming into a supine spinal twist. Breathe, relax, and feel. Feel free to make any adjustments if something doesn't feel quite right. Now, whatever leg is on top, slowly allow it to rise, taking the knee closer towards the ceiling. And as your hips begin to move back down towards the floor, roll onto your back and gently roll all the way over to the other side, setting up with the arms out in front of you, palms touching. And then on your next inhale, allow the top hand to glide over the bottom arm, across the chest, opening out to the side. Breathe here in this twist. On your next inhale, allow whatever leg is on top to slowly begin to rise back, knee coming towards the ceiling, gently rolling so you're on your back. And when you're on your back, allow the feet to come softly down to the floor, and then we'll come down into our final relaxation pose of Shavasana. Feel free, if you like, to keep both knees bent, or you can keep one leg bent as you straighten the other, or straighten both legs, bringing your arms out to the side, about 45 degrees from you with your palms turned up. If it feels comfortable, you can place something like your folded blanket or cushion beneath your head, or place a pillow or the rolled up blanket beneath your knees. Take a few moments here to unwind and take some long, deep breaths, big, deep breaths in and out. relaxing a little bit more on every exhale. Releasing a little bit more on every exhale. As I said at the beginning, today is the winter solstice. We're also at the end of the year. So I invite you to release anything that's not necessary, that's not working for you. Every exhale, just let it go. Allowing space for more good, for more things that work for you, more things that resonate with you to enter and to make the next year, the rest of the month, the rest of the day, that much better for you. Eventually allowing the deep breath to fall away and just enjoy some silence. Slowly begin to deepen your awareness, deepening your breath. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Gently beginning to move your wrists and ankles, moving and stretching however feels good. Bringing yourself onto your favorite side now. And then gently pressing yourself into an upright seated position. Keeping your eyes closed for a moment. And bring your hands either to prayer position with the hands in front of your chest, palms together, or bring one hand or both hands to the middle of your chest. Let's take 3 deep breaths together as a group. Breathing in and breathing out. In and out. In and out. May we be free of suffering. May we have physical happiness. May we have mental happiness. May our hearts be at peace. And allow your eyes to open. And I thank you so much for joining me. Warmest holiday wishes and happiest of New Year's. I'll see you in 2021.